Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sci-Fi Wire live stage in New York Comic Con. How y'all doing? We feel strong? Day 3? You guys okay? Yeah. We're here with the cast and creators of Reign of the Superman. What's up, y'all?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Okay. There's a saying, sort of a maxim that's gone around, that Superman is one of the hardest characters to write because he's got no flaws and no weaknesses except for kryptonite. Is that a thing you guys believe in?
Yeah, that's why we killed him, because he was, I don't know. I'll defer to the writers for that answer.
Jim.
Is Superman a hard character to write, and why?
It was really hard to write Superman in this movie because if anyone saw the last movie, they know what happened to Superman.
Well, the first one is called Death of Superman.
Right. So there was a little bit of an indicator in the title what happened.
So a spoiler. But you know, if you're going to disseminate the essence of what Superman is, of what Clark Kent means, to a bunch of people who are now going to sort of hold that mantle, what is that essence? What makes Superman Superman?
Well, he's the nicest guy in the world. He's so nice. He couldn't even be made on this world. He comes from another world. And we kind of eschewed that problem of writing that character by writing 4 versions of him in this one.
Which one was your favorite?
You.
Oh, favorite? You can't make me do that.
Cyborg Superman.
Cyborg Superman.
That's a great idea.
Cyborg Superman.
Yeah. Cyborg Superman's our favorite, isn't he?
Wait, is there a Cyborg Superman in this?
There is a Cyborg Superman.
I was expressly told not to say there was a Cyborg Superman. You guys are screwing it up for me. They're going to blame me for this.
That's not what you were told not to say.
Yeah, he's on the poster.
Okay, so even though there was a
Cyborg
roadmap
Superman.
for what the story is following Death of Superman, what did you guys discover in the process of making this one that surprised you?
Oh. What's the question again?
What surprised you guys while you were making it about the story as it was unfolding?
It's a wild story. It's a huge story to try to boil down into 75 minutes. So, but it has a lot of heart. It has a lot of. It's not so much. It's about what Superman means to all these people, even though he's gone. He's not even in the story for a while. It shows you what his being there meant to everyone when he's gone. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Okay. Toks, viewers might be familiar with the Cat Grant that people have seen on Supergirl. How is your Cat Grant different? What was surprising about that version of it?
I wish I could answer that question, but I've not seen that Cat Grant, so I don't know.
Yes. What makes yours phenomenal?
It's me. No, I'm kidding. She's really sassy. She's a sassy broad, you know, and she's, I think she provides just a tad bit of comic relief, I think. Mm-hmm. I love the way she's written. She was a lot of fun for me to play, and I like anything sassy and a little bit sarcastic. She's got some huevos. Yeah.
Patrick, what's it like playing a cyborg Superman, which I didn't know we could talk about until right now?
Cyborg Superman. First of all, if you haven't seen Death of Superman, make sure you do, so you're prepared for February when we release the Reign of the Supermen. What I like about what these guys gave me to do with playing Cyborg Superman is that he's a cyborg with a heart, maybe, huh? He's got an emotional arc, which you don't find in cyborgs every day.
Right.
Nyambi, I know that you're a nerd. You're a dyed-in-the-wool nerd.
Yes, I am.
What was the best part about getting to play in this particular space?
The best part, it's Martian Manhunter. And Martian Manhunter is, you know, he's got all the powers that Superman has, and even more. Yeah. And he's just great. And he's you know, in comics he's a detective, you know, and you know, on The Good Fight I play a detective. So you know, it's nice, you know, worlds colliding.
A comfortable role.
Yeah, it's comfortable. It's a comfortable role. So. No, I mean, I'm a huge fan of DC Comics. You know, grew up on it, loved it, and to be a part of it is just a dream come true. I mean, I'm in heaven. I mean, I love it. I love it.
Are you playing Martian Manhunter as a black guy or a white guy?
I'm playing Martian Manhunter as an alien.
A green guy.
Yes. Who happens to take the form of me.
Oh.
Because he decided, let me be the sexiest guy I can be. No, not at all, not at all.
I mean, at the time that we're in right now in the country, which is very sort of divisive, what is it about the Superman mythos that can prove sort of universal, even though it is, as we discussed, it's an immigrant story, right? The Superman story is fundamentally, it's the Moses story, it's an immigrant story. Why is that character so universal, and why does that play so well when we are right now?
You know, the thing with any Superman story is, you know, Superman represents hope. And specifically in Reign of the Supermen, it's all about, because Superman is gone, you know, how we find that. It's amazing the lengths to which humanity will go to find that hope again. And I think that's what one of the things that we're trying to do with this movie.
Phil, you were the character designer on the project.
Yeah, that's right.
How do you feel about the red underwear?
I love it. Trunks on the outside where they belong. But I think that there's room for various interpretations and iterations. So I don't, you know, I may prefer that for certain narratives or for certain stories, but everything we do is based on the context and based on the story choices. So I could go in different directions depending on what story we're trying to tell.
Nyambi, I know you got feelings.
About what?
About the red underpants.
On the outside.
The Superman require red underpants.
You know what? No, I was actually cool. I mean, I like watching it. It didn't bother me at all. You know, and Phil's a friend, so I mean, you know, I play the fifth.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Sam, I got a question for you, which is why we're here. Let's pretend that the live-action DCEU guys come to any of you guys looking for advice on how to do Superman right. What do you tell them?
Oh, that is a loaded. I don't think I want to touch.
How much does that pay?
Above scale.
Okay.
But I mean, I just think, you know, it's like most stories, right? There's a natural, like a question that's asked, or a point of view that you're trying to prove. And it's just a matter of basically what question are you presenting, what questions are you asking, and then basically proving it. You know what I mean? I think storytelling in a sense is very, at least plot, is very straightforward like that. You know what I mean? There's, depending on what you present, there are going to be questions that the audience is going to ask, or are going to ask, and it's just, I think it's your job to basically answer those questions, you know? And basically, you know, I always say it's like a visual essay. You know, it's like there's a point you're trying to prove, and you just need to prove it to the audience so they all basically agree with your statement. So I think it's simple as that.
What do you guys think? They're coming to you? What are the essentials to a good Superman story?
The essentials to a Superman story? You know, I think the essential Superman story is it's you in a horrible situation and your fantasy of, I would make all the right decisions, and I would be helpful, and I would be kind, I would be polite doing it, and I wouldn't think of myself. I would put you first. And when you get to the end of that Superman movie, you think, yes, that's exactly what I would have done. When in fact, that's probably not true at all. You would have made all the opposite directions, and you would have been a horrible person. But it's supposed to make you feel that you would have done the right thing.
I think you also want to have Lois Lane.
Oh, yes.
And we've got a terrific Lois Lane in these movies. Fantastic actor. I don't know if you've heard of Rebecca Romaine. Have you?
Who's that?
She's great.
She's got some superhero cred. I've seen her in a thing or two. Here we are in New York Comic Con, in a place that feels like Mecca for collectors of things. What, if anything, do you guys collect?
I collect action figures.
Yeah.
Just about everything you can imagine. I have a huge Simpsons collection. I'm not here to plug that show. But
I collect everything. So, like literally, I have close to 1,000 Funkos. I have a bunch of premium format, fourth scale DC characters. My favorite one being Harley Quinn. I have a bunch of Bowens. I mean, I got a lot.
A diverse selection.
It's crazy.
And comics, right? You're big.
Yeah, big comic collector as well. So yeah.
I collect nothing, and I'm having a yard sale next weekend. If anybody is in LA, I got a bunch of crap to get away. So going fast.
Eventually, the geek lifestyle, you do run out of space. Closet space, floor space, so I'm with James on this. We're purging. We're not collecting anymore.
When I come home from these, my wife looks at me and goes, "Oh, good, more stuff."
Toks, what do you collect?
I don't collect anything, but when I was about 10, I made the mistake of telling my family I loved pigs. And for like the next 20 years, anytime anyone brought me anything, it was in some sort of pig form. So I have a lot of pig stuff. But I'm a bit of a minimalist, I think. I'm always like getting rid of stuff and giving people stuff. And oh, you can use that, take it. And like, yeah, I've got nothing. I've got no things.
Patrick?
You know, this is the first time I got a chance upstairs when we were signing to actually run into everybody who's in costume. Because it's only the second time I've gone to a con. And I want to thank all of you who do decide to dress up, because it's really awesome for me. So I've started taking selfies with all the characters I can find. So I'm going to start collecting that, because
That's a collection.
I don't know if I'm ready to dress up myself. I'm not sure if I'm brave enough quite yet, but I love and admire all your bravery. So thank all y'all for who went ahead and decided to dress up.
And Sam, what's hiding in your closet?
You know, again, I'm with a lot of these people that have collected for a long time. There's a certain point where you're just like, wow, I have too much stuff and not enough room, and then you start, you know, picking and choosing the ones that you need. And so now, even just as a buyer, I have to check myself and make sure, like, is that something that's just going to end up in my garage, or is that something I'm actually going to put on my desk? So.
And finally, do you guys feel the pressure of having to climb out from under the shadow of Shaquille O'Neal's steel? Was that something that still weighed heavy upon your guys' brows when making this movie? James, come on, you look like you got a feel.
You know what? People know about Steel probably more because of that movie. So, you know, I've never seen it. So I don't know how good or bad it was, but, you know, our Steel rocks. Our Steel is awesome, and he's kind of the heart of the movie in a lot of ways, so I don't know.
Well, all right.
Yay, Shaquille.
Yeah, I think every...
Who does he play for?
What?
I think, though, to follow that, any version of a character you can think of is somebody's favorite. You know what I mean? Somebody loves that. So you're always, you know, walking in somebody's shadow when you work on a characters that have this much tradition and this much history. So you're just trying to do your version, and hopefully people respond to it.
Well, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the cast and crew of Reign of the Supermen. Toks Olagundoye. Can I get that? Awesome. Patrick Fabian, Tim Sheridan, Jim Krieg, James Tucker, Phil BOURASSA, Nyambi Nyambi, Sam Liu. Let them know you love them. Come on now.
Thanks, guys.
Up next, Legacy's cast interview. Hashtag it's a fan thing. SYFY.com. Mark Bernardin. I'm out.
I'm Jackie Jennings with SYFY WIRE. If you can't get enough of New York Comic Con, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel for news, interviews, cosplay, and so much more. What are you waiting for?